going to speak.
No, I was going to touch on a little bit of what you've already mentioned. To be fair, and you made some really good points. Is because I was sat there listening to the debate, argument, whatever you want to call it, after the game, and I was thinking exactly the same. It's like, hold on a second, the finger's now being pointed at Trent about his frailties of what we've noticed, and they're the things that they've been backing him up for years now. But the biggest thing for me is the media. So all of a sudden, there's this huge media narrative on Trent now, on the way in which this situation's being handled. All these little things, like Trent hasn't said a word. He hasn't said a word. I think he's actually handled himself pretty well. But I think it's almost like the silence now is starting to frustrate them. Is that they want to hear something? It's a bit like what they were doing with Salah just a few weeks ago, Carragher in particular. But is any Liverpool representative in the media, has any Liverpool fan ever stopped to think that maybe all this stuff in the media is the reason why he wants to leave and go to another country? Our media is one of the worst in terms of hammering individuals. Let's be honest here. Trent has been hammered for years about his defensive frailty.
Real Madrid's not better, bro.
Real Madrid will treat him individually a hell of a lot better than what he's been treated in this country, because there's been times
Terrace Bill how he's
very good and still been absolutely hammered by the media. And maybe going to another country where, let's be honest, he will be loved at Real Madrid for his ball playing ability alone. He will be loved there. He'll be able to play the way he wants to play. Don't get me. Let's not forget.
I disagree. You have to prove yourself. You have to prove yourself at Real Madrid. Kylian Mbappe went to Real Madrid. He's known as one of the best players. You literally have to prove to them that you're worth cheering for. They're not just going to come and celebrate.
Yeah, and the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm convinced that he is going to prove himself. I'm convinced he is going to do the business there. He's done it. If he's done it at Liverpool, there's nothing that tells me any different that he cannot go and do that at Real Madrid. So I'm already kind of forward thinking on what you're saying there. I might be wrong in doing that, but I'm just assuming he's going to go there and tear it up because he is a top world-class right back.
Can I add to your point as well? I feel like what the media is doing, I've seen a bit with Salah as well, with what Jamie Carragher said about him. I remember Liverpool and legends like Jamie Carragher and the media doing very similar things to Raheem Sterling. And I know right now Gooners don't like Raheem Sterling, City fans don't like Raheem Sterling, or some don't. Chelsea fans hate him now. Liverpool fans always have since he left. But let's not forget that they painted a picture that Raheem Sterling was leaving purely for greed when he was going Man City, and he didn't. He went to Man City to win multiple Premier Leagues, multiple domestic trophies, part of the Centurions, etc. He went to Man City to further his career. Now, Liverpool went on to do really, really well as well, but nobody knew what was coming with FSG. Nobody knew what was coming with Klopp. A lot of Liverpool fans themselves felt, especially when they got rid of Suarez and then Sterling went, they were like, what's that club doing? So I got why he went. They're doing very similar with Trent now, where I feel like they're throwing him under the bus. They're painting this picture that he's disloyal, that he's money hungry, that he's disrespecting the football club. The problem I have with that narrative, and yes, it's easier for me to say when it isn't my club, is if this was the other way around and Real Madrid had a starlet from their academy who was seen as the best right back in the world by many people, that was not signing a new deal with Madrid to come to Liverpool, you would all be loving him. Liverpool fans didn't dislike Van Dijk because he was part of being tapped up when he was being tapped up by Liverpool, and Liverpool had to pull away from that transfer deal, which was against the rules of the game. They didn't boo him for forcing his way out of Southampton. They cheered him because he improved their football team. And by the way, Liverpool fans, we're all the same. We're all the same. I want Gyökeres. If Gyökeres forces himself out of Sporting, am I going to lose any sleep? No. If he tries to force his way out of Man United in 3 years to go to another club, it'll annoy me. So I think sometimes we've got to try our best to sit back, take off the rose-tinted glasses and be honest. You are right, Pete. The way the media are now setting him up, they're going to make him a figure of hate in this country. We've done it to Raheem Sterling. We've done it to Wayne Rooney. We did it to David Beckham. And I don't want to see it done to another. I don't care that they're English. I don't want to see it done to another player in that way. It's an absolute disgrace. And we all know that Trent will get it even worse than some of those aforementioned players. And you've got to be very careful about his Liverpool fans. I know you're upset with him, But this is a legend of a bona fide legend of your football club, one of your greatest ever Premier League players. Yes, he wants to go now, but I think he deserves so much more respect than they're giving him.
Yeah,
I really do. Viewers, give us your thoughts, give us your opinions on that. I want to go to some of these super chats that have come in here. Red Indian says it's not a normal job in the first phase. Liverpool made him what he is today. He served, but going on a free is criminal, not acceptable.
Didn't he make what he is today, though? Like, did he not make what he is?
He doesn't decide when he gets sold. That's not what happens.
That comment there is on the club. That's not on Trent. The club needed to sign him up through. Look, there's a standard understanding with any top club now that when a player gets down to 2 years, you start to have a conversation. We had the same this summer with Anthony Gordon. Anthony Gordon was 2 years on his contract, which is why he was linked with Liverpool. And it was a case of, right, do we sell him now because of PSR, or do we keep him and give him a new deal? We gave him a new deal. That's a standard practice for any top club. And I'm saying, like, it's negligence, the fact that Liverpool Football Club have allowed Trent to get down to his last 6 months of his deal. It's absolute negligence. That is not on Trent. That is on Liverpool Football Club. Any Liverpool fan should be asking massive questions to the club, not the player.
I have another stance. Arsene Wenger once said, you're going to see a lot more players running down their contracts because it then allows them to move on a lot more easier. And also clubs can sign the player a lot easier. Maybe this is Trent's only way to leave Liverpool with respect. You know what I mean? Because let's be honest, I don't think Liverpool are going to openly sell him. Yeah. I don't think he's going to openly say, I want to transfer. But this way, they didn't give him the offer that he wants. He can move on. And it doesn't hurt his legacy.
They should have just sold him. But look, we all saw the video of Ashley Cole talking the other day, and I'm not an Arsenal fan, although some people think I am. I didn't know what he said was true. Someone said that David Dean mentioned something a few years back, but whenever I see David Dean face, but Arsenal offered him a really good deal, and then they pulled the offer, or they changed the offer, and he felt disrespected. And I'm not saying some Arsenal fans will never change their view on him, but I understand it. If Man United today say, look, Ahmad, we want to keep you a new deal, $100,000 a week. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to sign that. They come to signing it. By the way, we've changed it now. $60,000 a week. I expect him to leave, especially if other top clubs are offering him 100, 120, 130, 140, 150,000 pound a week. That is what he's worth. And I don't like treating footballers different to any other professional person in the world. There's a going rate for certain jobs, certain levels. You're a trained lawyer, Nobbins. You know, if you are literally good enough to be hired by all the major celebrities in the world when they get in trouble with the police, right? Sort of a Kardashian level lawyer. For anyone who wonders why I mentioned Kardashian, Kim Kardashian's dad was an amazing lawyer. If you're at that level, you might do a pro bono here and there, but you're not gonna work at a sort of standard high street rate when you know you're worth, I don't know what it is, $5,000 an hour. Like, you're going to get what you're worth, right?
Sure, for sure, yeah.
I agree, and I think the footballers shouldn't be treated indifferently. He can sign a standard contract with a release clause. Let me ask you this question, though, bro. And where is the evidence from trusted sources that he was offered a good contract with a standard release clause that says I'll let him go for 50 to 60 million? Genuinely, if they've offered him $400,000 a week, 5-year deal, but with a 50, 60 million release clause, I will agree with you that he should have signed that 2 years ago to help his club bring money in. I understand that completely. But has he been offered that? I think I would be your journalists have access. Ask them that question. And the fact that everyone seems to be turning against him tells me he wasn't offered something like this. Because if he was, it'd be very easy just to release that news and go, he turned down this offer. But it's all very wishy-washy, my friend. Moving on.
If he put in his contract, I'm going to leave for 50 mil, guaranteed Liverpool fans would have been upset that the contract was so low, that the value was so low.
Yeah.
It's almost, he can't win. It's just their argument is stay at our club because our club's the best club.
This is the best route for him to leave the club where he can't be blamed. It's on the club.
Yeah,
I hear that.
Does anyone blame him for joining Real Madrid?
No.
Like,
No,
it's
Liverpool fans
Real
will.
Madrid.
Liverpool fans will.
Yeah, well, yeah, they will, but no one else outside of Liverpool.
But it's Real Madrid. We all know he wants more Champions League medals.
I agree with that. I'm going to go to the super chats here before we move on the subject. Sorry, guys. It says, where are all the Scousers, Terry? Yeah, none were available today. 35 of them in the group chat. None were available today. Bottle jobs. Thank you, Luke. Thank you, Luke Skywalker, for asking everybody to hit the like button. Botman needs to find... Batman, sorry, needs to go and find Mo and Hassam still ghosting. Ugarte was so good on the ball yesterday. Love him. Yeah, he was great yesterday. He was offered 78 million for 5 years, but maybe it's not about money. Maybe he wants to go to another football club. So this is what I'm saying, Red Indian. You've got to ask these questions and be objective. If he said 2 years ago, doesn't matter what you offer me, I really want to go and play somewhere else. I want to broaden my horizons, live somewhere else, experience another culture. And Liverpool said, fine, you're going to make you run the contract down. How's that Trent's fault? You could have got 80 million for him 2 years ago and reinvested. So please, can you do me a favor and answer? Don't twist my question by adding another question to it. Answer that question directly. If that's what's happened, that he said no to the deal, it's not about money, I want to move on. If he said that and they didn't sell him, what about that is Trent's fault, Red Indian? Please answer me that question directly, my friend. I'd love to understand your take on that. Double-edged sword, saw it at Arsenal with Ozil, Aubameyang, etc. Huge contracts renewed and the players became dog shit. The problem is, Sonny, that's what happens when your club hasn't got a good culture. It has nothing to do with the new contract directly, bad culture. Mo Salah got a new deal a few years ago. He ain't a big one. He hasn't fallen off, has he? He's seen as the best player in the world. If the club's got a bad culture, absolutely you don't do it. I don't think Liverpool Football Club has a bad culture, but I hear you on your comment there.